Okay, so it is October 16th, and this is one of the last few weeks of the Elite Series. And our host actually was not able to get on, so you get me. And from most of the comments, you guys wanted to hear about me and my journey so far as a coach. So I'm going to go back. I don't have any notes. So I'm going to try to remember everything as best as I can, and I might go off topic a little bit. So I'm warning you now. So my journey started, well, first of all, for those of you who don't know me, Nikki Minton. I'm Nikki Kuban Minton on Facebook, and I'm currently a 7-star, 2-time elite Beachbody coach. So I joined in April of 2011. But before all of that, I'm a mom of 2. My daughter, Giovanna, she's 6.5, and my son, Nico, who just turned 5. I'm also married. I've been married for a little over 5 years. So that's me. I was a young mom. I got pregnant at the age of 20, and my daughter was a surprise. We didn't know we were pregnant. And so anyways, at the age of 20, got pregnant with my daughter and had her in May of 2008. And that summer I was back in a bikini. And before I even got pregnant, I had a lot of issues, to say the least, with my weight. I was a yo-yo dieter. I starved myself. I did diet pills. I did everything to stay skinny. And the reason I found out I was pregnant was because I started gaining weight. And before I even went to the doctors and before any of that, I was like 100 pounds. So I was like sick, skinny. And when I found out I was pregnant, and I started gaining weight, my pants were fitting tighter, so I knew something was up. But anyways, so I had my daughter in May of 2008. And that summer I was back in a bikini. I didn't look the best. I wasn't where I was before I got pregnant. And so I said to, Chris at the time, we weren't married yet. I said to him, I need to do something about my weight. And at that point we joined a gym. It was a 24-hour gym because I now have a brand new baby. I didn't know how I was going to get there. So I was waking up at 4:00 in the morning to get to the gym. And I went to the gym every day, and it took me about 7 months to get back down to where I was when I found out I was pregnant. And once I got back down there, I found out I was pregnant again. And so my children are 17 months apart. My daughter was only 7 months old when I got pregnant again with my son, Nico. And me and my husband weren't even married yet. So we were planning on getting married in that September. Well, Nico was due in October, so we moved up the wedding. We found out we were pregnant in February. My wedding was in April. So in 2.5 months, I had to plan a wedding. So I did it. No one knew I was pregnant until the night of our wedding. Everyone found out I was pregnant, and that's why I moved the wedding up. In October of 2009, I had my son. He was 10 pounds. I was 200 pounds when I delivered him. So I gained a lot of weight. I was 200 pounds when I delivered my daughter as well. So I gained 76 pounds with her and then about 68 with him. So needless to say, after baby number 2, the weight wasn't coming off as fast as it did with baby number 1. So I still went to the gym and started taking diet pills again. And I said, you know what? I can't do this. Trying to take care of 2 babies. And I was like on edge at every second of every hour. So I knew I needed something, but kind of gave up on myself, and I got really depressed. I was teaching at the time. I hated, who I was. I hated looking in the mirror every morning, trying to get ready for work. And I said, this is it. There has to be something else out there. And so I bought P90X off of an infomercial, and I did it for 4 weeks, but I had a crying baby upstairs. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to put it away. My baby needs me more than myself. And it just spiraled out of control. It just got worse and worse and worse. And me and my husband were fighting all the time. And it all came down to because of who I was and who I saw myself as. and how much I hated myself for, letting myself go. And so 18 months after my son, my coach, Katie Hefner, I worked with her at American Eagle. So we worked in retail together, and we found each other on Facebook. And so she messaged me for about 8 months and said, you should just try the Shakeology. You should try it. I know you already have P90X. And I said, no. Living paycheck to paycheck, I can't afford it. Finally dropped it. I said, all right, I'm going to do it. But I want to join as a discount coach, and I don't want to do that coaching thing. I don't want to have to bother anyone. I just don't want to do it. And she said, you don't have to. You can still save the 25%. Don't worry about it. So I joined, and I committed that day that I was going to complete P90X, and I was going to drink Shakeology every single day. 2 weeks into the challenge group, and we made our own challenge group before challenge groups were even, a big thing. And it was just a huge accountability group where you either did a Beachbody program or not. You either did Shakeology or not. It was just for the accountability. So 2 weeks in, I found that this support was the most amazing thing in my life. I became happy again. I started seeing in 2 weeks, that I can get dressed, feel good about myself, and go to work and be happy for the first time in a while. So I kept going with it. And at that time, they were getting ready to start another challenge group. And they said, just ask some people. So I started asking around. And to be honest, my invites were pretty bad. They were probably a page long. And I basically just told everyone what I was doing, that I became a coach, that I started seeing results with P90X and Shakeology, that we were starting this challenge group, and here's my link. So that's what I was sending people. And I got a few people that said, okay, I'll join, Melanie Mitro was one of them. She said, I'll join. I don't have the money to spare on Shakeology, and I'm going to borrow Insanity. I said, okay, let's do it. So it was that accountability that kept me going. And I didn't stop there. I literally invited every single family member and every close relative to my house. We did a little shake and share. My coach Katie came, and a few of her coaches, and we made Shakeology. We played the 100 Doctors video. We talked about success stories. She told her story about her mom and how Shakeology helped her mom. And I got 0 leads out of that. They all came to support me. But that I didn't give up on that. I then went to my Facebook list of every single friend on my friends list and sent them that crazy message that was a page long, literally copied and pasted it and said, hey, how are you? I see that if there was a baby in the picture, I see that you had a baby. How's your baby? And then I joined as a Beachbody coach and sent this script to them. And like I said, I got a few bites from it, but that was it. And when I joined in April of 2011, we didn't have a coach training academy. There was nothing except for the back office and all of the resources that the Coach Training Academy had. So my coach, Katie, printed everything off for me and made me a binder. I could probably show you it. It's pretty crazy. But here's my binder. This is the Coach Training Academy, all in here, all these pages. This is the resources that I had when I first started as a coach. So I committed to myself that I was going to learn the business, that I was going to learn everything I needed to learn about Beachbody so that I could be the best coach that I could be. If that meant that I was only helping 5 people, then that's what it meant. So every second that I had was dedicated to Beachbody. It put a damper in my marriage, and because I spent more time on the computer than I did with my husband. At the time, he was working 4 to midnight because I was teaching. So I was working during the day. I'd get home, he'd leave for work. Some days he was already gone for work, and my parents were watching, or my dad would be watching the kids when I would walk in. So it put like this huge distance and barrier between my husband and I. But I had this strong feeling inside of me that this is where I was supposed to be. So, like I said, in April of 2011, I joined. In June of 2011, the school year ended, and my position wasn't guaranteed in the fall. So I told Chris, I'm not even going to go back. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm going to do Beachbody full time. He looked at me like, are you serious? And I said, yes, this is where my heart is. I loved everything I was doing. I felt that this was my calling. Yes, I loved being a mom. And from the second that I had my kids, I didn't want to have to hand my kids over to somebody else to watch them. Kudos to those of you who do have babysitters and do have put your kids in daycare. I just couldn't do it. There was something, I have trust issues from when I was a young child that I wasn't able to actually have my kids be watched or raised by somebody else other than me. So I knew that that was just the next step for me to be a stay-at-home mom was Beachbody. It fell into my lap at the right time. I didn't want to be, a coach. I just wanted the discount, but I saw how blessed I became from becoming a discount coach. So that whole entire summer, my mom's a teacher as well. So that whole entire summer she had off. So we would hang out by the pool and I would read, I would research, I would learn the business. In August, I want to say it was August, September-ish, there was a game planning event in Chicago. I'm in Pittsburgh, Chicago, 8-hour drive from us. My coach, Katie, and I jumped in the car and we drove there. That was kind of the turning point of my business. At that time, I was probably just an Emerald coach. And my first 2 coaches was Danny Judd, who I worked with at Coach. And she just wanted it for the business, and my husband. Those were my first 2 coaches. And then my mom signed up and Melanie signed up. But I was only an Emerald coach when I decided to go to Chicago. And when I got there, Jeremy Red he was talking about the business and just talking about the success and talking about stories. And Lindsay Matway got up and talked, and I just said to myself, why can't this be me? Why can't I succeed in this business? I know this is where I'm supposed to be. I know I'm supposed to be helping people. And I just want to make a difference in someone else's life. And at the same time, Chris is still at home saying, what are you doing? Like, why Beachbody? You're spending too much time learning about the business and you're not making a return. I was putting so many hours in and I wasn't making anything. And that was really hard for him. So that moment I said to him, I need 90 days of full-on commitment. I don't care if you like what I'm doing. I don't care if you understand what I'm doing, but I need you to support me 100% for 90 days. At the end of those 90 days, if I'm not making what I need to be making to be a stay-at-home mom, I'll go find a job. And he agreed. Within those 90 days, I started showing him what I was doing. I started sharing my Challenger's success. I started showing him the paychecks. And at the end of those 90 days, he looked at me and he said, I know you're not financially where you need to be, but I see your passion. I see that this is what makes you happy and where you're happy. So let's just roll with it. And my heart was so heavy in Beachbody that I just knew that this is where I was supposed to be. It didn't matter that I was only making $30 a week. It didn't matter when I made $100 a week. It was the fact that I was helping people feel good about who they were and feeling good about when they looked in the mirror that they liked who they saw and they didn't hate that person. Or when they were getting dressed in the morning to go to work, that they felt comfortable in their clothes. That was what made me excited every single day to wake up. So 8 months into the business, I hit Diamond. And then a few short weeks after that, I hit 1 star. And then that whole entire year, it took me, because Danny and Melanie were both diamond, but they were on the same side. That whole entire year, it took me to build Chris up to diamond, to go 2 star. Still learning the business, still not understanding everything about the business. In March of 2012, I got a call from Jeremy Red from Beachbody saying, hey, you need to learn about elite. You're on track to be elite. I said, what are you talking about? What is that? And he said, okay, so we need to get on a call. So Melanie, Katie, and I got on a call with him, and we talked about elite, what it was, how we track our numbers, how we become elite coaches. So that whole entire year, that's what my focus was becoming an elite coach, and still not understanding, what it was, but I knew I had to be 2 star. So that's when I built Chris up to 2 star. And from that 2013, I opened my second business center in the beginning of 2013, went 3 star, 5 star by the end of the year. In all of 2013, I was a shaky 5 star. So I hit 5 star, went down to 4 star, went up to 5 star, went down to 4 star, went up to 5 star. So it was back and forth. It wasn't a smooth sail. It wasn't that it clicked and happened like that. On December 26th, I was praying that I was 5 star. It was one of those things where you didn't know if I was going to be 5 star or not. So 5 star, and now this year, a whole year, I evolved 6 diamonds, but I'm still only 7 star, and my second business center is 1 star diamond. So let's backtrack to the downs of the business. When people say no, or that's not for me, what do you do? And how do you react? So in the beginning of my business, when people told me no, I took it personally. And then I started saying, why are they saying no? Like, who doesn't want to feel good about themselves? Who doesn't want to lose weight? Who doesn't want to be able to fit in their clothes and say, oh my gosh, like this feels amazing. And then I started wondering, what am I posting about? What's my Facebook page look like? Is it all salesy? Do they just think I want the commission off of them? So then I started realizing I had to build a relationship with them. And I had to find out why they wanted to lose weight, or why they wanted to, lose or hit goals that they had set. What were their goals? And then I realized, okay, I have to start sharing about me and what's going on in my life. And once I started becoming an open book and not really posting just about the sales, and truly showing who I was, my struggles, my ups and downs, which I still today post about. I still post that I have trouble with my eating habits. I still post about that kind of stuff. Workouts, no, I don't have a problem with that. That's not my struggle. My struggle is eating. So I share about that. I ask for the accountability. I ask who else has those struggles. That is where my struggle in the business is. Also, I'm sorry, I'm going to get rid of this gum because it's bothering me. Sorry about that. So that's my struggle, is the nutrition side of it. So I share that with people. I would share my meal plans for the week. I would ask for the accountability. Who else needs help with this? So those were the things that I felt that were going to get people to trust in me, was when I opened up to them. When I hit successes in the business, and I would share that it wasn't easy to get there. Having to build your husband is hard. It's difficult because you have your own business to run. Then I was building him up just to hit, another rank, because I knew that the rank was where elite was, and once you hit elite, you get a $500 a month car bonus. So it was an extra $500 that ultimately we needed, because we were living paycheck to paycheck. I was putting groceries on credit cards. Like, how embarrassing is that? Your responsibility for the house is utilities and groceries, and you have to put your groceries on credit cards. It was devastating to me because I'm too independent of a person to ask for help. So I was never asking for help. I put the groceries on credit card. I said I rack up credit card debt. Kept opening up credit cards to pay my groceries. So I knew that I was going to do whatever it took to make it in this business. If that meant that rank advancing was where it was at, then that's where I had to be. And even I would say in my first full year of the business, even first 2 years of the business, I really didn't understand what I was doing. All I knew was I was helping people get healthy and fit. And I would say 90% of my coaches were discount coaches because I figured, ranking was where it was at. And that kind of is so, because if I look at my paycheck from when I first started to now, my paycheck now is 95% team bonuses, 2% matching bonuses, and 2%, 3% of sales. My volume each week is not 10,000. It's not 1,000. I'm lucky if I get 300 to 500 PV every single week. My paycheck is my bonus, my team bonus, my matching bonus. That's where my paycheck is. And the reason it's like that is because of the rank advancing that I did in my business early on. I'm building my team. And yes, placement has a lot to do with, why your bonus is where it is. But when you rank advance, you're making more on your team bonuses. So, that's where I focused my business in the beginning. So that's where I just did whatever it took. If that meant that I was up until the last minute of the end of the month to hit Success Club, that's where I was at. Because when it came down to it, I was the person that in the beginning of this business that I worked under pressure. So I was waiting until the last day of the month to hit Success Club because I just didn't understand what it meant to, get it done early in the month. I didn't understand what, Success Club, why hitting it early or always reaching out to people and inviting and following up was so important until for 3 months I was hitting Success Club the last day of the month. And it was so stressful on me because then I was like, oh, now I need the first week of the month to take a breather. No, this business is 24/7. And if you don't know that now, it is. We are changing lives. You don't have to be working 24/7, but you have to know when you're working. You need to know who you're going to reach out to next. You need to know who you need to follow up with. So this business is 24/7. And that's how I dealt with the business in the beginning, and I still do. This business is a multi-million-dollar business. If that's how you treat it, that's how it's going to work. And there is a quote by John Gordon. I shared it today on my page. I don't know if you saw it. Don't chase success. Decide to make a difference. Success will follow you. And you need to figure that out. Are you here to make a difference, or are you just here to be successful? Because if you're here to make a difference, you'll do anything that it takes or if you're here to make a difference, you'll do anything it takes to make a difference in someone else's life. If you're here just for success, it might not happen. So think of that. Are there specific ups and downs that you want to hear about? Because, I could go on and on about ups and downs. I would rather focus on certain areas. So if you just want to hit in the chat box, if there's a certain area that, you want to hear about, I'll go on to that. But I'm going to go on to the next one. My current struggles. Current struggles are, I would say, doubt in myself as a leader. Making sure that I'm doing enough for my team and making sure that I am doing enough to lead the team that is under me. I know a lot of you look up to me for advice and look up to me for leadership. And sometimes I feel like I'm not giving enough for all of you to be successful. So that would probably be my biggest struggle right now. Yes, I do have struggles with signing coaches some months. I do have struggles with hitting Success Club some months. That's the business. There are rough patches in the business where you can invite 1 million people, you can follow up with them, and then still they don't commit. So I would say my number one tip for that would be just being consistent and showing people, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, and this is why I'm doing it. Success Club's probably one of the hardest things in the business, no matter what. If you aren't inviting, you're not following up, and you're not being consistent, you're probably not going to help anyone because they don't know what you're doing. And they don't know that you are having a challenge group or you're looking to help them. So that would be something that I would consider. Are you doing those 3 things? Would you recommend focusing more on rank, obtaining coaches under us, or focusing on Success Club points? Both is best, but if you have to choose, which one would you focus on more? Okay, this is a good question because it comes down to what you want. You can rank advance with hitting Success Club all at the same time. 3 coaches, Success Club, you get 2 points signing a coach or a customer with a challenge pack each month. So that you can do both of those all in the same thing. Now it depends on what you want and what your challengers want. For me personally, it was about rank advancing versus just hitting Success Club. Just because that was my goal. Now, when it comes down to it, I think in the long run, rank advancing is the best option. But if you just sign someone as a challenger, you get that commission each month. If you sign them as a coach, you get their volume and you'll start team bonus cycling, which, like I said in the beginning, my bonuses are 95 to 98% of my checks each week. So it depends on what you want, but you can definitely do both of them in the same token. I hope that helps, Nina. So my struggles of hitting Success Club, those would be my 3 things. And doubting myself is really just reading more personal development. So I would say that would be another, thing, is just making sure that I hit, my personal development every single day. How do I overcome struggles that I'm having? Honestly, reevaluating what I did. One thing is business activity tracker. Tracking what I do every single day is key to the success of your business because, one, if you're not using it, you don't know what you're doing and where your strong suit is and where your weaknesses are. When you do track it and you do have a struggle or an obstacle that you're faced with, you can look back and say, okay, how did I deal with this last week? Or how did I deal with this last month? So I would say really tracking your business is the best way to overcome any struggle. Reaching out to somebody above you and ask them for their help. Ask them for their advice on how you can overcome whatever the situation is that you are facing. I would say back in August, September, beginning of September, I was just in a real funk and I didn't know what I was doing wrong. I didn't know where I could grow more. So I had to reach out to my coach. Katie is wonderful. And if I need her, she's there. But from day one, I pretty much just ran with the business. I didn't look for her for help unless I needed it, So there are times when I still need to reach out to my coach and ask for help. So do it. Reach out. Ask for advice. Ask for help. Anytime you just feel like you're missing something, send over your business activity tracker and ask, hey, where can I, get help here? Or what am I struggling with? So ask for help. And that would be the best way to overcome any type of struggle you're having. I saw a question come up. How do you keep your downline coaches motivated when they aren't seeing growth in their business so they don't give up and quit? Okay, so I would say that this is kind of the double-headed sword. You can't keep someone motivated if they don't want it. So to motivate my coaches, I have to figure out what motivates them. Are they motivated by incentives? Are they motivated by just my attention? Are they motivated by success and shout outs? So find out what your coaches are motivated by. Find out what their why is. What motivates them in this business to be a Beachbody coach? Because if they don't have a strong why, they're not going to succeed in this business. You have to have a why. on why you're pushing, why you're helping others, why you want to succeed as a Beachbody coach, and why you're in it, pretty much. So number one, find out why they're in this business. Find out, what makes them want to push and what motivates them, and everyone is motivated by something different. So you might have 3 coaches that are motivated by incentives and money. You might have 5 coaches that are motivated by just your attention and shout outs. So really focus on each coach individually. I would say that everyone's different because we are. We might say that we are motivated by just attention, but when it comes down to it, an incentive's nice, don't get me wrong. I like incentives as well. I'm not the type of person that likes spotlight and recognition, but when I get a shout out, yeah, it makes me feel good. So those are things that you need to really focus on each individual coach. What motivates them and why are they in the business? Because ultimately we can't push someone to do something they don't want. And I found that in the beginning, very early on, that I wanted things more than my challengers wanted it. I wanted to help my challengers lose weight and feel good about themselves more than some of them wanted to. So I had to emotionally detach myself from them and from the situation to be like, hey, I can't do anything else. I'm here. If you want it, come in and ask me for it, or post in the groups. So that's one thing that you just have to really ask them what they want, because we can't do anything more than that. Finding out what makes them tick, how they're going to stay motivated. I hope that helps. So sorry, I can't move this chat box. There we go. The next one was invite process. So my invite process, I have scripts in the files in the Team Resurrection page. They really haven't changed. I would say that I go from a forming invite, which is, hey, how are you? It's been so long. What's going on? Or, hey, I noticed you had a baby. How old is your baby? Or, hey, I noticed your profile picture. Your baby's so cute. Or, hey, it's been so long you've grown up. Or what's going on? Just some type of forming question to open up the conversation. Find out what is going on in their life. Who are they? Inform them. Talk about their family. Talk about their occupation. What are they doing nowadays? I mean, most of the people on my Facebook page when I started, I didn't talk to for 7 years, which were my high school friends or even grade school. But I opened up that conversation. And even the people that I wrote that whole long story to on day one, I've gone back to and started forming them and finding out about them instead of just, hey, join my challenge. So that's how my initial invites start, is forming them, finding out about them. And then when it comes to the M, my message, I find out if Beachbody is the right fit for them. And you can usually tell when you're forming somebody, they're going to ask you about Beachbody. If you are posting on your wall about Beachbody, they're going to ask you about it. They're going to say, hey, I saw you were doing, Beachbody. I see you were workouts every day. And that's one thing that I can say that I'm so consistent with, that people ask me about it. So make sure you're consistent with what you're posting, that people know you're a Beachbody coach and what you're doing, so that when you start forming them, they do come to you instead of you having to feel salesy and going to them. So that's my initial. Now, if we never get to the message, I will either a few days later say, hey, you've been on my mind. I'm getting ready to start my challenge group and I thought of you. Would you be interested in hearing more? That's it. And that opens up, 1, that I'm starting a challenge group. 2, are they interested in hearing more? And 3, if they're not, they'll say no. It doesn't make them feel pressured. It just lets them know, hey, you're still on my mind from our conversation 2 days ago. Now, there are times when I just go through, like the first week of the month, I will do a group of forming invites. And then the third week of the month, I will go through and start cold inviting. And to be honest, my cold invites are, hey, I'm starting a mommy challenge group on X date, and I thought of you. Are you interested in hearing more about it? It's pretty simple. I don't go into detail on what it is. I ask them first, are you interested in hearing more? And I always end with an open-ended question so that they can come back to me with a response. I'd say 9 times out of 10, people come back and say, hey, I've been meaning to talk to you, or you know what, right now is not the right time. But it's great because it's not a no response. It gives them that kind of comfortable feeling where, hey, she's not pushing me. She just wants to know if I'm interested. And so I would say those are my 2 types of invites that I do. And yes, I still have to actually go and invite people. I don't always have people coming to me. 3.5 years in the business, and I don't always hit Success Club just because people are coming to me. It's the life of the business, and I'm okay with that. All right, Christina, you always lead with respect and honesty. When you have a coach that says one thing, I want this business to work, but does the opposite, doesn't work for it, do you confront them about it or just pull the frozen and let it go? Oh, Christina, I love you. Okay, so this is something that I have to work on, and I've been told by several people I have to work on it. I do lead with my heart, and I want everyone to be successful. So if someone tells me they want it, and they come into this business, and I send them my welcome email, they come back to me and say, hey, I want to run with the business full throttle. I want to do it full time. What do I need to do? I tell them, finish the checklist in the email, and then send over your coach training badge and your 7-day quick start. Once they send that to me, that's when I take them seriously. Now, am I going to say that there are coaches that don't send it back to me, but then they're messaging me on Facebook? And yeah, I'll go to them. But until they show me some type of skin in the game, I let it go. I just let them go. And it's hard because, like I said, I want everyone to succeed in this business, and I want to show everyone the way, and I kind of want to paint the little yellow brick road and be like, here you go. This is success. This is how you do it. But it's not that easy. And especially in this business, because we all have different lives. We have different backstories. We have different markets. It's just how it is. It's not going to be easy for every single one of us to succeed in this business. And that's where we have to get our little mind check, because you see all these coaches advancing so fast and only being in the business for a year, and they're 15-star and they're in the Millionaires Club and they're, double 15-star in 2 years. It's not that easy for everyone. There are sacrifices people make to get there. So if you say you want it and you think it's going to be quick and easy and a get rich fast, you're mistaken, because it takes time, it takes work, and it takes dedication. So when I have coaches that come to me and say, I want it, but don't do anything to show me that they want it, there's nothing I can do. I will give you what has worked for me. I will give you the steps. And like I said in the beginning, when I first started, there was no coach training academy. None. Zero. Zip. I had to research. I had to learn. I had to go back to school and literally research and search the back office in every single tab and learn every single day about the business, where now you have, I think there's 5 or 6 videos, and it teaches you the business. You can be done with that in 2 days. It took me months to learn what the Coach Training Academy has in 2 days, 3 days, maybe a week if you're working full time. Yeah, I'll give you that, a week. But if you can't even come back to me and say, hey, I completed this, or I have a question on this, then how are you going to work a multi-million-dollar business or be successful? So it's one of those things where I want to see everyone succeed, and I still do it to this day. I say to people, hey, you have to hit Success Club to get a call with me, because that shows that you're in the game. Well, they don't hit Success Club, I'm still on the call with them. So I do it all the time, and I know I should not, but when you see the best in somebody, it's hard not to. So you kind of have to stop in your track and be like, is it worth giving this person an hour of my time to maybe something click in their head? Or is it worth me saying, hey, put the skin in the game, and then I'll get on a call with you. So that has to be your call. But for me, they have to show me something for me to get invested in them as well. Even if it is just sending me over their goals for the month or sending over the 7-day quick start. I hope that answered your question, Christina. I know I go off track a little bit, guys. I'm so sorry. And okay, so Deanna, when you say when they ignore you, I'm assuming this is the cold invites. Do I forget about them? Ultimately, I'll let them go, but at some point or another, I will come back to them and invite them again or start forming them. I do the opposite of what I did the first time. So if it was a forming question or just trying to form them, then I'll do a cold invite, because some people come to you with different things. You know, some people like for you to get to know them first, and some people just want you to get to the point. So no, I don't. I mean, I ignore them for that, you know, scenario. But I'd say probably a month and a half later, I will eventually come back to them and I'll do the opposite of what I did the first time. Would you be willing to share your welcome email? I'm trying to put something together to make sure my coaches are starting off right. Yes. So, Dana, my welcome email is actually I think it is, in TR and above, Diamond and above group. In the files, you should have a whole folder of just my Google Docs, and it should be in there. If not, just let me know. I think I did the same document in Team Resurrection files. If I didn't, I will go back and check, but I'm pretty sure the welcome email is in there. And pretty much anything for my coaches, it's in a coach tab in my Google Docs, so it should be in there. I hope that helps. And when you check and it's not there, send me a message and I'll get it to you. Okay, so I hope those questions, you know, were good on the invite process. Regarding sending you our goals, how do you prefer us to send those to you? Sending goals, Facebook is the best way because I see it. Whereas when it goes into my Gmail, I have someone sorting out my inbox right now since I had so many emails. So she's putting them in certain folders, and I'm still not getting all of them. So the best way is sending them to my Facebook, or if you email them to me, you send me a Facebook message saying, hey, I sent over my goals to your email. But emails or Facebook is the best way because I'm always getting, it's on my phone. It's pretty bad, but it's on my phone. So I get the notifications when I get a message. JZ, the Google Doc is in the files section of the team pages. So if you're on your phone, you can click the cover page and then go down to files, and it's in there somewhere. It's probably one of the last few. But if it's not in there, I will send it over. If you're on the computer, it's just under files. So Jen Stevens, I think, the one who asked this question, what does my day-to-day Beachbody life look like? It's pretty embarrassing because I'm so scatterbrained still to this day. So drop my kids off, get home about 8:30, 8:45, and that's when I sit down and check into all my groups. So that's pretty much the first thing I do every single day when I sit at my computer. I check into all of my challenge groups. I check into all of my coach groups. I post what needs to be posted. I check everything that needs to be checked. I watch videos if that's what needs to be done. And then I usually do that until about 9:30, 9:45. Don't quote me on my times because I'm really bad with that. I tend to get off track. And then I will either put an audio book on or I'll turn around and I will just read until I feel fulfilled, I guess you could say. And then I'll turn back around and I make a video. Now, I don't make a video every single day. Mondays are usually my video days. So I'll sit down because that's when I get a shower and do my hair. So I'll sit down and I'll bust out videos. And when I say I bust out videos, I literally have a list of topics and I'll go through the list and make those videos. Change my top, make the next video. Put a scarf on, make the next video. It's just the easiest thing for me because I can't, and this is probably gross to say, but I don't shower every single day before my day starts. There are some days I don't go with a shower, it's just, that's how it happens for me. So making my videos all in one day is the best way. That's usually Monday. And if it's not a video day, I'm writing a blog, or I'm writing a few different blogs so that I can just post them when I don't get the chance to get there. And then depending on what day it is, I will either have my mentorship calls, I will have my call with my mentor from corporate, or I am running errands. And then 2:00, my alarm goes off and it's time to get the kids. From 2 until the time Chris gets home, it's kid time. And then if I have time in between there, I jump on the computer, check in. But I try not to. And then 7 to 8:30 is kid time. Again, bathe the kids, put them down. 8:30, if the kids are asleep, hopefully they are, I come down to my computer. I work for about a half hour. And then there are some nights when I just go straight to bed. There are some nights that Chris and I watch a movie or watch our shows. So every day is different, but I make sure that there are things that I have that to-do list, and everything's marked off. And it's pretty simple. And there are times when, between 3 and whenever Chris gets home, that I'm on my phone checking in because the kids are either watching TV or coloring or doing something that they don't need my attention. But I would say from 3 until 4:30 at the latest is literally homework time. My phone's not picked up. It's nothing. It's just me one-on-one with my daughter doing homework. So setting those boundaries for Beachbody versus my home has helped me a lot. Now that I am, all day, every day by myself from, 8:30 until 2:30, it's harder for me to stay on track and not get, sidetracked, I guess you could say, by a comment or a message or, doing the next thing. But Fridays are my day to run errands most of the time because my cleaning lady comes. So she's here cleaning all day. And so I'm out of the house. I'm out of her way. So that's my day to send out gifts or send out welcome packages or even just do grocery shopping if need be. So I hope that helps. I mean, my days are crazy. I wish that someone could videotape me because there are days where I'm just like, so what's next? I just get so sidetracked sometimes, but that's how it happens. Okay, I'm just checking in here. If you're not a Team Resurrection member, how can we find examples of your invitations? Tara, I don't know who your upline coach is, but if you get with your upline, I can definitely send over my invites to them. Most of them are just from the 5-day invite process in the back office, but I have some others as well that I can share. So just ask your upline and I can definitely share those with you. If you're in a day, I need to make video a day and blog day, focus day for sure. Yeah, so the reason why, what made me decide to make the video list and the blog list was the simple fact that I had a blog set up for every single day. And my alarm, it still to this day goes off, hey, it's time to sit down and write your blog. But I noticed that my videos were getting worse. I wasn't in the mood, or I just stopped making them because I found that when I shower and get ready on Mondays, I know it's video time. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to go off my list. I'm going to make my videos. I'm in the mood. I'm in the groove. I'm ready to go. Whereas there are days where it's like, another video. I have to go and put makeup on. I have to do my hair. I have to look presentable to make this video. And you'll see on my YouTube channel, there are times where I have my hair back and I'm still in my workout clothes because I was in the mood to make a video. So I still do those, but it's just so much easier just picking a day, changing my clothes, making the video. Okay, so back to the list. Janae, you asked a question on the Team Resurrection post, and I didn't understand it. It was about getting your butt kicked 1 month and something else. So if you can type it, I would really appreciate it, because then I can answer it for you. Overcoming fears and struggles. So I kind of touched on this already. I still doubt myself. And so overcoming that was one of the hardest things, because I still have that doubt in the back of my head, but with the different things. As far as fears, one of my biggest fears, public speaking. I hate talking. Right now, it's crazy. I hate public speaking. And the only way I got over it was to keep doing it and to keep doing it. If you look back to my first calls that I did, it was with presentation. So you didn't see my face. I probably stuttered 100 times. I probably still stutter. I mean, I always ramble. But it was the fact that I kept going and I kept doing, and I never gave up on what I knew was going to work, or never gave up on the fact that this could change. What I have to say might change somebody, or it might light a fire in somebody. It might hit somebody's, soft spot. So the fact of overcoming the fears and struggles was just to keep moving on, to keep going, to never lose sight of the end goal. And that was to see my team successful and to make a difference in someone else's life. So that's truly how it is. And yes, it's super scary. And yes, I start sweating. And yes, I get butterflies in my stomach and I feel like I'm going to barf everywhere. But I just had to keep doing it, because that's just how you grow. Getting outside of that comfort zone really, really helps grow your business and grow you as a person. And that's the only way you're ever going to get better. I remember all the time, practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. The more you do it, the better you're going to be. And that's true in every situation, even in this business. The more you do it, the better you're going to be. With invites, with follow-ups, with hearing the word no. I mean, I could count probably how many times I wanted to throw my computer out the window because I heard the word no. But the fact of not taking it personal is what got me through and made me and helped me keep going. Now I count how many no's I get to say, okay, so I got 10 no's today. All right, I have to be hearing a yes at some point, right? And that's the thing. Go through and see how many no's you can get, because a yes has to come up sometime or another. So practice makes perfect. And that's where I overcame my fears and my struggles with every single thing out there in this business, was just to keep doing it. And one of the biggest things is I'm better behind the screen than I am face to face. I'd rather be able to type something up, read it, and send it. And if I have to, delete some things and then send them. That's just better for me. So knowing that I'm sending an invite to somebody and they're not going to see my reaction, they're not going to see, how I react to it, or what my face looks like, or how I'm feeling at that moment. It's the fact of maybe that message will touch somebody's life, or maybe it will ultimately save somebody's life. I know Beachbody saved my marriage. So, that's something that is huge. So it could do it for somebody else. Let's see. Thanks, Nina. Nikki, you trained me last year to use the BAT. And when I trained with you, I used it. But none of my coaches use it. How do I encourage them enough to use it like you did with me? I was scared not to. Well, I'm sorry that I scared you. But Trisha, honestly, do exactly what I did. Using that business activity tracker helps your business. Show them what it did for you, and I like to stress the fact of it doesn't have to be the BAT. Create something that works for you, that, whether it's an Excel spreadsheet or it's paper and pencil. But you have to track what you're doing in this business, because you might have an amazing week and then next week it's like crickets. What's going on next? And like, what to do? What do I do? And then you can look back and be like, hey, that's what I did. And that worked for me, so I'm going to do it again this week. So I really just think stressing the fact that if you don't track what you're doing, you don't know when you're successful, what you're doing, and when you're having a bad week, what you didn't do. I hope that helps. How helpful are videos to your business? They are my weakness and I rarely make them. Okay. So honestly, I feel my videos help my coaches and coaches in the, Beachbody organization more than they do help me recruiting. But that is also my fault. I make more videos to help train my coaches versus, train them and encourage them and motivate them versus actually recruiting. So I don't know. I guess you have to ask my coaches how it helps them, and if it's useful for them. And, that's another thing. Like you say it's your weakness. That might not be something that connects with you. And people might not connect to you by seeing your face. It depends on what avenue in your business you want to take. You don't have to make videos. You can write blogs. But you need some place to talk about your struggles in the business, talk about how you got to where you are, how you overcame things, how to motivate people. So a blog might be the best way for you. Videos they're easier for me. I don't like writing. So videos are easier for me. Like I said, I don't like being in front of a video. I don't like being in front of a crowd. I never liked making videos. It was my biggest thing, because I was afraid of what people thought of me or what they were going to think of the message I had to say. But like I said, if it touches one person's life, I'm cool with it. Sorry, my internet is being goofy. Okay. When a month kicked your butt before you were where you are now, what did you do? But you already touched on that. Okay, good. When you are connected with new people, where are you connecting them from? Friends, groups, I don't know. So new people, honestly, they find me, I don't know. They connect with me on Facebook, but they could be finding me anywhere. I have a YouTube channel. I have a website where I blog. I'm connected on LinkedIn. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I have a like page. So I have all kinds of different avenues. And there's a way, I'm not sure how, but there's a way that you connect everything. So if I post on my Facebook like page, it goes to my Twitter and my LinkedIn. If I post on Pinterest or on my blog, I can pin it to Pinterest. I can send it on LinkedIn. I can send it on Google+. I can send it to all these different places. So I'm not really sure how to do it. And if you play around with the settings, there's probably a way to do it. But I'm connected in so many areas. And I think that you have to focus on, I would say three of the top things that you feel that are even still your warm market. Facebook. There are so many people on Facebook, so many people that they're not all being connected with the Beachbody coach. There's no way. But even just going through your friends list, and if you feel that you completely tapped out of your friends list of inviting them to a Beachbody challenge group or to the Beachbody, the business opportunity, then you don't have enough friends. You need to connect to more people. And I say this a lot. You should be adding 3 to 5 people a day to your list. That means if you go to your friends list and click on one of their friends and see that you have mutual friends with them, friend them. I mean, you have mutual friends with them. Just don't friend request Beachbody coaches. There are people you probably went to grade school with, high school with, college with, that you're not connected to on Facebook. I know I just became friends with probably 5 people that I went to high school with. I haven't talked to them in 10 years, and we just connected on Facebook. Now that's 5 new people that they get to see what I'm doing, and I get to talk to about Beachbody. So reach out to people, kids that you went to grade school with, because I know we aren't all, it's just all about expanding your network. I know we aren't all connected to everyone that we've ever come in contact with. In a lifetime, I think you come in contact with 10,000 people. Do you have 10,000 friends on Facebook? I know I don't. So think about that. Are you fully connecting to every network or every person in your Facebook network? I hope that answers your question. Do I post on all of my outlets every single week? Yes. Like I said, they're all kind of connected in some sort of way or another, but there are days where I'll just go in and post on my LinkedIn and my Twitter. just something extra special, because LinkedIn's ultimately professionals. So I make those posts a little more professional. Twitter's short, so I make something short over there. My Facebook like page, that's a lot. I'm trying to think. Google Plus, I only post on there when I make a video or a blog. And that's just like extra from what is connected to that. I'm sorry, I use my hands a lot too. I have to try to keep them down. All the majority of your friends in Facebook are overweight. So I feel, all of the friends in my Facebook are overweight. So I feel like I have to be very careful how to do this. Do you have any recommendations how to target them? Okay, so to be honest, I felt like I offended a ton of people when I first started. So the way I found that had worked for me was, hey, I'm starting a challenge group for accountability. Is this something you would be interested in? Same way I would invite to anything else, but I wouldn't put it as a weight loss. I wouldn't put it as a fitness. I would just put it as a health and accountability group. Now you start, if they say yes, they're interested, then you start into the conversation of what goals would you like to reach? Why would you like to reach them? How would you feel once you reach them? And then get into the conversation about that. I would never say, hey, do you want to join my challenge group to lose weight? I just wouldn't do that. That would offend somebody. So going around it more of, hey, I have a health and accountability group that I'm starting. Are you interested in hearing more about it? So not assuming that they want in it or that they want to hear anything about it, just offering, hey, I have this. Are you interested in it? And then stay consistent on your Facebook page about what you're doing and how it's helping you, not even just losing weight, but getting healthy and feeling healthy, and start sharing more posts about overweight people or success stories about overweight people losing weight or lowering their cholesterol or feeling better or getting healthier. So target maybe your success stories on your wall based on those people that are overweight and lowering their cholesterol and getting healthy through Shakeology and Beachbody products. Oh, Christina also said to expand your network, get into common interest groups. So mommy groups, whatever your hobbies are. If you are into knitting or shopping or, if you have toddlers or if you have kids that are teething, mommy groups. I know that's pretty much the only groups that I'm in are mommy groups or teacher groups. So whatever your profession is, whatever your career is, whatever your hobby is, whatever your happy place is. There are a ton of fitness groups out there that aren't related to Beachbody. Get into those. There might be groups that are fitness related and have Beachbody coaches in them. But when you build that relationship and you open that trust, they're going to come to you versus someone that's just trying to sell them something. Just a little tip. Okay, I'm going back onto my list. I have two more questions here. I don't even know what time it is. Oh my goodness, I'm so already over. If you guys want to stay on, awesome. I'm going to finish these last two questions. If you want to get off, feel free to. The call will be recorded so you can listen to the last few minutes. I only have one more then, I guess, because keeping coaches motivated I already touched on. How to stay positive. That's probably one of the hardest things in this business. And I know some of you do follow me daily and see that this week was probably the hardest week for me. Doing the 3-day refresh, a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. So I try to limit my negativity that I post on Facebook. Staying positive is probably the hardest thing when you are struggling in your life and then you come to Beachbody and whatever's going on in your personal life is coming out into your Beachbody business. And it's hard to keep them separate. I'm going to say that. It's hard. So personal development, back away for a minute, read personal development. That's honestly what I can say is read personal development and back away for a minute. Because that's where you need to get and stay grounded and think about why you're really in this business. So if that means going back to writing out your why, reading your why, making a video about your why. Because in the end, we all join this business for a completely different reason. My why is different than yours and is different from yours. That's what it comes down to. If I wanted to, I could be completely negative, but no one's going to come to me if I'm negative. So when you feel that you're having a really rough day or a really rough whatever, let people know, hey, I'm having a rough day. I'm going to back away from Facebook today. If you need me, send me a message. I'll get to it when I get back on Facebook. Sit down. Look at your why. Think of why you joined Beachbody. Why? To be happy, to be healthy, to be financially free. Why? Read that. Let it sink in and walk away from your computer. Walk away from everything and just have time, quiet time, peaceful time, whatever it may be that you need to realize I'm in this business for me, for my family. Whatever is bringing me down needs to get out. It needs to stay away. Personal development helps with that. And you're not going to get positivity out of personal development that's teaching you how to build a business. Grab a book, grab an audio that is going to help you get out of your funk or whatever is going on in your business or in your life that is bringing that negativity to you. Now, if it's coaches around you, ignore them. If it's, a comparison or a jealousy thing, you're in the wrong business. You cannot compare yourself or be jealous of any other coach in this business. Your business is your business. Theirs is theirs. Whatever they do and however they do it, cool. You need to stay focused on your business, where you want to go and how you're going to get there. And what all that craziness out there, that comparison, that jealousy, that negativity, it's only going to damage you and your business. It's not going to damage that person's business. It's not going to, damage that person's life if you feed into it. It's going to damage yours. So I would say that's how I stay positive on the most part. Most of you, all you see is the positivity in Facebook, of even my life. I don't drain my Facebook with the craziness that goes on in my house or my family or my business, because that doesn't need to be seen by all of you. It doesn't need to be seen by the Facebook world, and Mark Canella said that on his call. When you have a bad day, it doesn't stream downhill. You talk about that with your upline. You talk about with that with the person that it needs to be talked with. You try to keep your positivity to your downline, and you keep the waters flowing with your downline. And that's how it is. And that's how it has to stay. It's not always rainbows and sunshine. There are stormy days, but I don't let you all see that. I don't let you into the craziness, because what's that going to do? Show you, oh, okay, well, she can't do it. No, I can do it, and I'm going to do it because I'm going to show you it's possible. There's stuff that needs to be dealt with here, and that's going to be dealt with on this side of the spectrum. But here's where you guys are, and this is where it needs to be. I need to show you that if you want to reach a goal, you let it happen. You do it. There's going to be negative people out there. There are going to be people that tell you can't do it. Prove them wrong. From day one, Chris told me, this Beachbody thing's crazy. Prove them wrong. You have to do what is best for you and for your business. Whatever happens, whatever that negativity is, either fight against it to prove it wrong or just ignore it, because it's only going to bring you down if you feed into it. And you want your business to go up. You want it to grow. You don't want it to fall apart. So I hope that helps. Stay positive. That's all I can say. Do what you know is working for you and in your business, and stay consistent. So we are definitely over on our time, but if you have any questions, you know how to reach me, you know how my message, make a message thread on the Team Resurrection page or in my inbox, or if you are not directly in the Team Resurrection page, and want to ask me a question, ask your upline to send it over to me or private message me. I hope this helped all of you with the questions that you have, but if not, you know how to get a hold of me. All right. Thank you guys for staying past the hour with me. And honestly, just showing up, because that's one of the things in this business. You have to show up to grow. So talk to y'all soon.